I'm a bit annoyed because I've filmed this video like 3 times already today, and this is the reason why I've had to refilm it. The Zoom H4n Pro is not making me super happy right now. It's not wanting to read or write to the card, even though there's no problem with the card. Sounds rolling. Great. Camera's rolling. Awesome. Let's clap. Hopefully that will all sync in post. So anyways, what I'm here doing today was just a little lens test. For those of you who don't know, I got a set of 3 cinema lenses when I purchased the FX6. It's the 7Artisans 35mm Spectrum T2, the 50mm T2, and the 85. I've never done a lens test for myself. I've seen other people do them, but I've never done them on anything that I've owned or have been looking at purchasing. So I just got really curious. I had an afternoon free and I was like, I wonder what I'm going to find out about these lenses that I've been using for the past year. So here's what I found. I'll start by saying that the control in this apartment is hard because I'm not in a studio. I don't have the most perfect controlled lighting. And I have big open windows, both in the living room where I was filming the clips of the actual lenses and in here. I tried to control it as best as I could, and what I did was every shot I got was at an ISO of 800, same white balance. I think I was at like 5100, somewhere around there. And then all of the lenses when I was doing the tests with the actual lenses themselves was at T4. And then the clips of the lenses themselves, that was filmed on my Canon FD 50mm. So that's kind of just on its own. But it was really interesting because I had noticed something that I had never noticed with these lenses, and honestly I'm a little shocked that I hadn't noticed it before. So first, when I made the switch, after I'd gotten the B-roll of all of the lenses in their group and I had swapped onto the 35mm, I noticed a very clear difference between the FD and the 35. The FD I knew ran cooler in terms of the color codings on their glass, so it didn't jump out to me as much at first. But then when I swapped from the 35mm to the 50mm, both within the same set, the color was just crazy different. The 35 is way warmer than the 50mm, and I thought that was really interesting. And with as much as I can control, it's still too much of a difference to be able to chalk it up to anything other than glass disparity between the two lenses, which is interesting because they're supposed to be a part of the same set and in the same manufacturer and the same model. So I thought that was really interesting. And then going to the 85, I noticed it warmed back up a tiny bit, but not nearly the amount that the 35 was as compared to the 50. Just in terms of color. And then I wanted to do a little bit of a flaring test because I've noticed these lenses flare when I've used them out on projects or when I'm actually filming something, but never to the point where the lens or the flare was too aggressive or just it looked too unintentional that I didn't want to use it or I wanted to adjust the shot. But then when I had them here, it was so minimal. And granted, I was only shining my phone flashlight into it. So it's not going to be that aggressive of flaring because the light output on my iPhone flashlight is not as high as compared to a set light or anything like that. But I just thought it was really interesting that the most consistent thing about these lenses was the very minimal flaring and nothing else. So yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. If you're looking at purchasing lenses and you want to stick to a more budget-friendly option, these are fine. Some of my favorite footage that I've gotten to date is on these lenses. So they're not terrible, but keep in mind they are budget lenses. All of these lenses come in at just under $500 brand new. So when you're comparing that to something like anything from DZO Film or any of the Zeiss CP compact primes or anything like that, the quality and consistency through the set, because of the price point, it's just not going to be there. I don't want people to have that expectation. But if you're careful and you're very specific about how you use them, like you can get some really good images off of these types of lenses. So yeah, this was just for me, like this was just a little curiosity game that I wanted to play and see what I could figure out in post. Also, the only other like control element was I have the same LUT. I have the same like color grade over all of the footage, and I had that as my monitoring LUT as well. So that color isn't necessarily affecting any of the actual footage coming through the lens. But yeah, this is just for me. This is fun.